And welcome to Mike Ferry TV. It is the week of January 9th. Nice to have you here. It's a new year. Have you really taken the time to make the plans, to set the goals, to write your business plan, to, if nothing else, just to jot down maybe letter A, how many deals do you want to close for the year? Letter B, how much do you want to earn? You've got to do something to create that momentum, that motivation to move forward. Goal setting is the fastest way to make it happen. I think if you're listening to Mike Ferry TV or have been listening or watching or viewing or hopefully participating, you understand that the focus of what we do revolves around helping you become a great listing agent. That's our focus. That's our 100% our concern is to how do we help every person that wants to become a great listing agent become a great listing agent. So what I want to do today is just mention 3 thoughts to help you down that path. Now, most of you, I'm sure, are well down the path and have become very good at that process. Now, you and I both know, this is in review, that basically there's 2 ways to make money in real estate. List properties for sale that sell and or take buyers out and work with them to buy a house. Both work, you get paid in both cases. However, the people in real estate, and no matter how you try to get around this fact, the ones that earn the most money are the agents that work with sellers, period. So I wrote down 3 thoughts, okay? I wrote down first, remember that every seller wants 3 questions answered when you walk in the door. First, what is my home worth? We have to know that. We have to understand values. Now, yes, listing property requires a little bit of time in the office doing research to make sure you can make a great presentation. Part of that research is the CMA, which is part of your pre-listing package. You do the research well, guess what? You walk in with more confidence to make the presentation. When they ask you what is the home worth, you can define it, even though you know they're not going to like the answer because they always want more than what you're going to say. If you avoid answering the question, what is my home worth, you're going to be in trouble. They want to know that up front right now to start the presentation. One of the training classes I took 100 years ago was the fact that the speaker got up and said, when you're on a listing presentation, the seller wants to know what the home is worth. And what I want you to remember is the longer you can avoid answering that question, the longer you can hide it from the seller, the better off you are, because then the more you'll learn about them before you disclose the price. Well, I don't believe in that kind of thinking because the one thing every seller wants is to know what their home is worth. They have a price in mind, and it's usually pretty fixed, if not in cement or stone. They've talked to their neighbors. They know what they want. They know why their home is dramatically better than all the rest of the homes in the neighborhood. And if we avoid answering the question, if we don't have, a concrete answer, they're going to list with somebody else. Question B, they want the answer to, how long will it take to sell? Which means you have to understand market stats, you have to understand market conditions, what's going on in the area. Is the economy moving up, economy moving down, is the economy flat, what price ranges, what neighborhoods, what are selling, what's not. And the third question, what are you going to do to get it sold? They bring up that question when they don't see a lot of validity in what you've said up to this point. If you're strong on your pricing, if you're strong on everything that you've said, they're going to make a decision in your favor and sign a contract. When they question everything you've said, they do 2 things. They want to know, what are you going to do to get it sold? And it better be good. And B, are you going to cut the commission? And those 2 things come up because of a lack of strength in our presentation, which goes back to what we talked about all last year, which is practice, 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 practice. Second point I wrote down for you for today. Evaluate the market you're in carefully on a monthly basis. This tells you many things, including where you should put your prospecting efforts. For example, what is selling and what is not selling at this time. You need to know that. You need to know what markets are hot, what's not. Why? Because why would you want to list a property when everything in that neighborhood is taking 243 days to sell, when you can list a property in a neighborhood where it's taking 35 days to sell on average? You don't know that without doing the market research. And today, the market research is available by pressing a few fingers on your computer, because your MLS systems today are so good and so strong and so sophisticated, they give you all the information you need to look at. Then the third thought I wrote down in today's message, define for every listing that you have today, How many listings do you have right now? What is the real market value of that listing? And remember, the fair market value is always going to be the result of what a buyer and seller come to agree on in terms of price. Okay, well, the seller wants this much, the buyer wants this. Where in between are they going to meet? And part of our job is the negotiation of that contract to bring them together for a meaningful price for both parties. So what is fair market value? It is nothing more than what a buyer is willing to pay and a seller is willing to sell for. Your job is to bring them together, make that happen. January 16, 17, and 18 in San Diego at the Hilton Hotel at the Convention Center, we're doing our annual January, what we call production retreat. We're going to have a little over 2,000 of our best customers there. We would like you to be there if you possibly can. It's not too late to register. You still have a week to go. It is the best thing that I do in addition to our Superstar Retreat every summer. Why is it the best thing I do? Because I put all my efforts October, November, December planning and preparing for what I'm going to do in January. I've got a great 3 days prepared for you. It's stronger than anything you've probably been through in the past with anybody else. I would like you to be there if you want to be there. Call the office, call my office in Las Vegas, and register. It's worth your time. Okay, let's go back to how I opened up. How prepared are you for having the best year of your entire life this year? How prepared are you for doing all those things that have to be done to make your business work at the highest level? How prepared are you to surpass last year's productivity? How prepared are you to become a strong listing agent like you know you need to become, you should become, and in most cases already are and going to get better at it? The skills you have determine the confidence you're going to exhibit. The scripts and dialogues you have give you the confidence to talk openly and frankly with your sellers. Let's spend the time learning our job at the highest level. And if we do, it's going to be a great year. Watch Mike Ferry TV, go to our seminars, get involved in our coaching, prepare yourself, because if you're learning, you're probably going to be earning at a higher level. I will look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks for today.